Good morning, students. I am Vikas Dasut, your science teacher. First of all, welcome in ninth standard. Throughout year in ninth standard academic year, you have to study total 18 chapters in science. Out of them, if you see the distribution of syllabus behind given in your book, there are, you see that 10 chapters we have for first term examination and 8 chapters for our second term examinations. So we have to study first chapters belong to the physics and chemistry part. Okay, if you see your book, then you will find some chapters that belong to the physics part, also some chapters that belong to chemistry part, some chapters that belong to biology part, and some chapter belong to ecology part. Okay, so such a way, this is a mixed syllabus of different branches of science. Okay, among them, first of all, in online lectures we will start chapters related to the physics and chemistry part. Okay, if you see in your book, then you will find our first chapter is laws of motion. Okay, that is also belongs to the physics part. Okay, so from today we will start chapter number first, laws of motion. Okay, now directly go in the chapter. First of all, we have to revise some things that we are already studied in our previous classes. Okay, so in 8 and 7 standard we are studied some basic concept that also we have to know, because except that we can't directly go inside the chapters, or it will be a problematic for us to understanding this chapter. Okay, so you still have to recall that all concept. First of all, we take some short revision of that concept for that will be used in our this chapter. Okay, now first important thing is we have to see what is force. Okay, so in 8th standard, I think force and pressure, that is the one chapter is there. Okay, we already study what is a force. Now if I ask you what is force, then what things will come in your mind? Okay, now suppose we see the definition of force that given in your book. Okay, what the definition tells us? Simply, if you see 8th standard textbook, then there are one sentence they use: force is nothing but the pull or push. Okay, simply they made definition of force. But now if I open door, then what I have to do? If I have to open inside, then what I have to do? Pull the door inside. Or I have to close door, then what I have to do? I have to push that door. So simply, what is the meaning of that pull and push? Actually, what we do there, pull or push means what? Actually, its meaning is what? Simply, we pull or push door means we do something there. Okay, we apply something external thing. Due to that, what happens? Motion of the door takes place. Okay, suppose we are standing here and I just order door opening. It will open? No, it is not a miracle. So I have to go there. I have to do something there. I have to pull the door, then that will be open. Means we have to do some external thing there. Okay, so that external thing which is responsible for the motion of a door, that is called as a force. Okay, force is what? Simply pull or push. That's right, no doubt about that. But if you want to make some advanced definition of force, then how we have to make definition of force? Force is nothing but the pull or push due to that presence of some external thing. Motion of an object takes place, and that external thing is nothing but the force. Okay, suppose, so we know the definition of force is simply pull or push, but some person is standing somewhere there, and they are trying, that person is saying to us that we are trying to open door. Okay, but it is not pretty easy to open the door, then what will that person say? Push it more forcefully. Okay, so simply force is what? Push or pull. Due to that, what happen? Motion of an object is takes place. That is simply called as a force. Okay, so we can make definition of force as like that. Now next topic is what happen if we apply force on some hot object. Okay, so if we see some example for that. First of all, we see due to the application of force, first of all, what happen? Shape or size of particular object changes. Okay, what happen? Shape or size changes. Now taking very simple example of making chapati. Okay, so simply what happen? Initially we take some atta. Okay, round shape. Okay, so then we apply force on that atta. So that is why what happen? Shape of that and size of that atta get changes, and we will make round shaped roti. Okay, so due to what happen initially, we apply force on that. Due to what happen, its shape and size get changes. So simply from that example, we understood that due to the application of force, what happen? Shape and size get changes. The second thing is what happen due to the application of force, object start moving. Okay, simply we like football. We all of like football. Suppose one football is here. Initially, that football is in rest position. Now, if I kick that football, at that time, what happen? That football will be moved from its initial position. Okay, initially football is in rest position, but after kicking, that football will be start move. So if I kick to football, means simply what I do? I apply force on that particular football. That is why it start moving. So we can place object in motion by the application of force. Okay, from that example we understood that we can set object in motion, or we start moving object by the application of external force. Now third change is due to the application of force, what happen? Object stop moving. Okay, now suppose we are traveling on motorcycle, bike. Okay, then after reaching particular position, what happen? We apply brake on our bike. Actually, due to the friction between tires and our brakes, what happen? Our vehicle is stopped. So friction is what? One type of a force. Simply we apply there frictional force. So by the application of frictional force, what happen? We stop that vehicle at particular position. So by the due to the application of force, we can stop object which is in motion. Okay, so such a way that this change also takes place in an object. Then due to the application of force, what happen? Direction changes. Okay, so for that we have to see one our familiar example of cricket. Okay, if bowler balls, then what happen? Batsman with the help of its bat change the direction of that ball. So initially, suppose ball come in this straight direction, then by the application of force, by using bat, direction of ball get changes. Okay, so by the application of external thing, application of external force, one thing also we change, that is nothing but the direction of a particular object by the application of external force. And next is accelerate or decelerate an object. Okay, are you heard about acceleration? Simply acceleration is what? Acceleration is change in velocity with respect to time. If velocity of an object get changes, then that's simply called as a acceleration. And deceleration and acceleration there are two types of acceleration. One is positive acceleration, second is negative acceleration. Positive acceleration means what? So we know definition of acceleration is what? Simply changing velocity with respect to time. Okay, as the velocity changes, as time changes, then change in velocity with respect to time is simply called as a acceleration. Now, for that we have to consider two cases there. Okay, continuously our speed is increasing. Okay, suppose initially we are at rest. After 5 minutes, our velocity is 10 km per hour. After 2 hours, our velocity is 50 km per hour, and after 3 hours, our velocity is 100 km per hour. So if we see, initially we are at rest position, our velocity is 0. Now after 1 hour, our velocity is how much? Suppose 10 km per hour, means in 1 hour we will cover a distance 10 km. After 2 hours, our velocity is how much? 50 km per hour, means in second hour we will cover 50 km distance, and in third hour we will cover 100 km per hour distance. So continuously each and every time interval our velocity is goes on increasing. So such a case, when velocity is increasing as a time increases, that called as a positive acceleration. And deceleration means what? Suppose one case is happen, initially I am in 50 km per hour velocity, then after 1 hour my velocity will become 20 km per hour. Another 1 hour my velocity is again decreases to 10 km per hour. So here what happened? Velocity decreases as time passes. Okay, so that cases, that's also called as a negative acceleration. Change in velocity upon time, if we take that ratio, that will be negative. That will be seen later part of a chapter, but just some we have to see that word is come here, that is why I am telling to you, but that detail part we will see later. So that's called as a negative acceleration. As velocity decreases with time, that also called as a deceleration. Okay, so by the application of force, what happen? We can accelerate or decelerate an object. That changes maybe takes place in object. Okay, how? Due to the application of force, what happens? Simply shape or size of object changes, then object will start moving. If object is in motion, then we can stop that object. Also direction will get changed, or it will be accelerate or decelerate by the application of force. Okay, so that are the effect of force on the object, that are we already studied in some previous classes. Also one part we studied in 8th standard, that is the types of forces. Okay, so there are two basic type of forces we are already studied in 8th standard. Okay, that are the contact force and non-contact force. Simply now we have to see first type, that is contact force. If we see this word contact means what? Simply if I ask you what is means contact, so you will say that contact means they are should be in touch with each other. Okay, that's also right. So contact means what? For that type of force, two objects should be in physical contact with each other. Okay, contact force means what? If two objects are in actual physical contact with each other, then such forces are called as a contact forces. And in non-contact forces, what happen? Non-contact means there is contact is not required. Here two objects are not directly physical contact with each other. Okay, that is the very basic difference between these two type of forces, contact forces and non-contact forces. Okay, so first of all we see contact forces. In first is frictional force that we have to see. Okay, suppose I throw a one ball on the surface of ground. Okay, so what happen? After some time that ball will stop after covering some distance. Okay, so why this thing is happen? Why not go away and away from us? Because you will say that we know because due to the frictional force. Okay, but now why we place that frictional force in contact force type? Because what happen actually when ball is going on ground, at that time some surface of ball and surface of earth came in contact with each other, and due to the contact with ball and ground, continuously velocity decreases ball as time passes due to the actual contact between ball and ground. That is why here contact of ball and ground is possible. That is why this force we place in which type? Contact force. Okay. Second is applied force. Okay. Suppose somewhat heavy object is placed here and I have to push that object to that much distance. Okay. So what I have to do? I have to apply force in that direction where I have to change the position of that object. Okay. So suppose I have to place that object in this direction and I applied force in this direction, then it is possible to move that object? No. Okay. So I have to apply force in that particular direction where I want change. Okay. So I have to apply force in this direction. That is why position of that particular object change in this direction. Okay. So that applied force which is responsible for the motion of this heavy object in this direction, that force is called as a applied force. Okay. Next is normal force. Okay, that I think you study or not, but we will be studying in later part, that is the free body diagram. Okay, so simply normal force is what? Simply you have to remember one thing, that if I place one textbook on a table, okay, now if I place one textbook on a table, then that book will be applied force on table according to Newton's third law. Okay, then that table also applies same and equal force on that book in opposite upward direction. That upward opposite direction force is simply called as a normal force. Okay, we will be see that part detail in later, but just you have to remember that much, that is upward direction force act on a book when we place it in table. So that force is simply called as a normal force. Next is a spring force. Okay, now many springs we see in our home. What? We can stretch that spring or we can compress that spring. Okay, so if we stretch or compress spring and suddenly we kept it away, then one force will be restored there. We will be experience that. Okay, so as we release that compression or press, so suddenly it will be moved. It will be moved. Why it moves? Because force is present there. As we stress or compress spring, due to that what happens? Force is restored in that spring, and that force is called as what? Spring force. Okay, and there is also contact between our hand and spring is there. So this is a one which type of force? That is the contact type of force. And last is air resistance force. Okay, suppose we are going on a vehicle, then air present surrounding us always tries to reduce our velocity, always tries to stop us. Okay, so there is also one force which is in category of contact force, because air and we are also came in contact with each other, then this force is applied. That is why it is also a contact type of force. Okay, these are the some examples of contact force. Okay, now second type is non-contact force. I already told you non-contact force means what? There is no physical contact between two objects is required. That is called as a non-contact force. In that first is gravitational force. Okay, we know, we already heard about gravitational force We know very famous story of Sir Isaac Newton, that is one apple is fall on his head, and then after that they discover about all this gravitational force, and we say that actually physics start from this event. Okay, so we already know gravitational force. Gravitational force is a very long range force. Okay, we know our earth has a stability because of this gravitational force. Our solar system has a stability due to this gravitational force, because sun apply gravitational force on earth. Due to that, earth is bound to sun and it move in one particular orbit. Every planet move around the sun in one particular orbit due to this gravitational force. So actually here sun and earth are actually contact with each other? No, there is large distance between them, but still also one force is present there that bind earth and sun together. That force is nothing but the gravitational force. Okay, now second is electrical force. Now we studied about electrical charges, positive charges, negative charges. So positive and negative charges also have force between them. Okay, if suppose two like charges, positive or negative are come towards each other. Okay, so at one particular incident what happen, if they are like charges means positive, negative, if they are came in influence, then they directly go away from each other. Actually they are not directly contact with each other, somewhat distance between them, but still also they are go away from each other. Now consider second case, one is positive charge, one is negative charge. Okay, so unlike charges are there, and if you came together these two charges and at a one particular influence, okay, at a particular influence they are came in contact, then they directly join to each other. Means simply what happened, there is no physical distance is matters. Okay, so here are physical distance is there, but still they attract to each other, means they apply force on each other. So such a type of force is called as a non-contact force, and that is nothing but the electrical force. And third is magnetic force. We are also familiar with magnet. We are lot of time we play with magnet. Okay, so what happen if you take two bar magnets, okay, and if you try to place together each other, we know magnet has two poles. Okay, suppose this is one bar magnet, this is another bar magnet. Okay, they have two poles, north pole, south pole, north pole, south pole. Okay, so if we place south pole of one magnet and south pole of one magnet, another magnet, and we try to place near each other, then it is not possible, because like poles are repel each other. Actually they are contact with each other? No, there are somewhat distance between them, but still they are repel each other, means somewhat force is in between them. Due to that what happen, motion of magnet takes place. So directly physical contact is not required. So from that we conclude that magnetic force is also a non-contact force. Okay, so these are the some basic things we have studied in our earlier classes. Look at that. First of all, force, push or pull, which is responsible for the motion of an object, is called as a simply force. Proper definition of force, and that definition you have to write in your answer sheet from now. Okay, for push or pull, which is responsible for the motion of an object, that is simply called as a force. Then due to the application of force, what a changes in object takes place. First of all, shape or size changes, then it will start moving, it will be stopped, it will change direction, and it will be accelerate or decelerate. Okay, so that will be the some changes will takes place in an object due to the application of some external force. Next is type of force. Two are main basic type of forces. contact and non-contact. I already told you. Contact means what? Two objects are directly contact with each other, physical contact with each other. Such a forces are called as a contact force, and in non-contact force, two objects are not in directly contact with each other. Okay, I told you example of gravitational force. Earth and sun much far away from each other, still there is a force is present. That force is called as the gravitational force. Okay, so these are the some basic things we have to know, that we have to use in our throughout year. Okay, in various chapter we have to use that things. So the remaining part, now next topic is that we have to see, that is the motion. Now next topic, this is also we have studied I think in previous classes, that is the inertia that we have to see. Okay, now if we see definition of inertia, then it will tell us the tendency of an object to continuous in its state of rest or state of motion is called as inertia. Okay, now look at what is the tendency of an object to continuous in its state of rest or state of motion. Means we have to consider two objects here. One is at rest position or one object is in continuous motion position. Okay, now suppose we see a stone. We see some stones from our childhood. Okay, they are placed at a one particular position up to year and year. But what happens if you throw them away? Then they can be moved. Okay, so if we apply somewhat force on them, so we can change their position easily. But the tendency of that stone is what? It try to stay in that one particular position. Okay, so that is nothing but the inertia of that stone. Now second, consider one example. Suppose we are traveling in bus. Okay, now if somewhat incident happen in front of our bus, and when suddenly driver applies a brake, then what happen? We suddenly move away from our seat. Okay, actually we don't want to move, but suddenly we move in forward side because of what? Again this inertia, because it is our tendency to remain in our original position. Okay, in bus what happen? We are moving, our body is in also motion, but application of a brake, due to what happen? Bus stop, but our body don't want to change its position of motion. It try to continuous in its state. That is why bus remain in that position and our body move forward side. Okay, so this tendency of an object is simply called as a inertia. Every object, every massive body has that tendency, that what is try to remain in its state of rest or state of motion. Suddenly we don't want to change our position. Suppose many times our teacher are also said to us, study hard, but our inertia is much higher. Okay, we don't want to change our position, we don't like to study. Okay, so same way inertia is what? That is applicable to massive bodies, that bodies don't want to change their initial position, whether it is a state of rest means steady position, or in motion, otherwise they are in motion. Okay, suppose we are seeing Olympic. Okay, one game, very famous game, that is the 100-meter running. Okay, Usain Bolt is a champion. Okay, we all see that event. Okay, so what happened? So for this gold medal they have to cover only this much distance of 100 meter. Okay, as they start from this initial point and they cover 100-meter distance here, then they don't stop here. Okay, they own gold medal here, but still they not stop here because of what? Their body try to continuous in motion position. Okay, so they have to run up to next 20-30 meter and they stop, because at a 100-meter position their body don't want to stop. It try to continuous in state of motion. Okay, so this property of an object is called as a inertia. Inertia depend on the mass of an object. It is also called as a inertia is measure of mass. If mass is very higher, then what happen, its inertia will be very high. Okay, suppose one very heavy object is here, I want to change that position of object. So what happen, I have to apply very large force. Simply what, it is not easily move. It is not easily move means what, its inertia is very higher. Okay, so as a mass is very high, then its inertia is also very high. Okay, so inertia is what, measure of mass. So remaining part of this chapter actually start chapter B in next lecture. These are the some important thing that we have to use in this chapter. So remaining part we will see in the next lecture. Thank you.